I've always been kind of an off and on part-time musician. I've played in bands and local bands and done some songwriting. I even took a small little stint in Nashville and thought I was going to go up there and write music and try to be a rock star and all that, but there was always something that was honestly just a little bit disappointing, and I would get to the end of gigs or playing songs and just feel a little bit unfulfilled. And for years I couldn't really put my finger on why. So this may sound like a pivot, but my wife and I took a trip to Norway several years back. My dad lives in Norway, and I was trying to get in photography and just snapping some shots. And we got back, and I was going through the pictures, and there was one picture that stood out to me. It was an older gentleman that we took a picture of playing his accordion on the street musician, just kind of playing there next to this old iron gate by himself. I can't describe it, but there's always been something about that picture that stood out to me for some reason. I couldn't figure out why. It was almost like there was a hidden picture or something, or like a hidden message inside this picture that I couldn't quite find. It was a street musician playing his accordion, and he had his suitcase sitting out in front of him, like, you know, a lot of musicians do, to ask for tips and change and that sort of thing. And I noticed that his suitcase was closed and he wasn't collecting money. And I thought, he's doing this for free. He's just giving what he loves away for free. And so that was like the seed for this idea of, you know, as a guy who's been playing guitar and, you know, fumbling around trying to write songs for years and hoping people would listen, and, you know, if I'm honest, and hoping people would say that was a great song, Mark, or whatever, what would it look like just to give the music away? Writing songs for other people's stories and giving voice to them through music. I got connected to Otto through a volunteer day with my company at an organization that helps folks with disabilities.
I'm Otto Critz. I was born with a condition called cerebral palsy. Some people have a very mild case, but some people have it where they can't walk, they can't talk.
I'm a board-certified music therapist, and Otto comes to me about once a week for individual music therapy sessions. And so music is very important to him, as well as his spirituality. So he will come into music therapy oftentimes with a certain song in mind that he would like to do. And music serves as a creative outlet for him to express kind of self-expression, as well as support his spirituality. So within music sessions, we will oftentimes kind of listen to a certain song, and then he will learn it, and we will start doing it live. And then oftentimes we will discuss the lyrics and what they mean to him and how they may be currently helping him with something that he might be going through in his life. And he had mentioned possibly working on songwriting. And before we honestly, within my sessions, got to get specifically to that, because we were going to, there was another opportunity that came to him.
Lily asked me actually in one of our one-on-one music sessions that we have weekly, if I would be interested in doing a song project, which I had already mentioned to her before she came to me that I would be interested in writing my own song.
Mark came by and I sat in with them at the very beginning and introduced them to each other. And I could tell just right from the beginning that they had a wonderful bond and they had already formed a friendship. Otto would come into music sessions with me and he would sometimes think of lyrics and we would send those off to Mark. Mark would respond either through email or text to Otto and, really like what you got going on there, or yeah, we'll definitely use this. So it was just kind of, a lot of back and forth that went into creating what is his song.
Otto's favorite thing is to be outside. A big part of that looks like him, taking strolls around the lake there.
Just being out here in nature really helped me be one with God's creation. It's really beautiful, and that shows you the miracle of God Himself.
Our conversations just kept coming back to that, and we weren't really necessarily trying to, pigeonhole the song yet, but the more that we hung out, and frankly, I would start getting texts and pictures from Otto during the middle of my work day of pictures that he was taking around the lake and lyrics and thoughts around what he was seeing. Over the course of weeks and even months, really, I would just meet him and we'd just start taking walks and talking there around the lake. There was a moment when I asked him, I was like, so Otto, what do you think this song should be about? I said, is this about your story or is it something different? You love worship music, so I kind of threw it out there. You love worship music. What if this? And he kind of jumped on it. He said, I want to do a worship song. He's like, let's make a worship song that other people can sing too.
Creating Speaks is a song about how I see God's creation all surrounding me whenever I'm outside, and that's how I came up with the idea of it being a worship song.
That's really how it happened, and at some point I got the basic structure of the music and the chorus and what it would be, which started to help sort of hone phrases and words and ideas together now that we actually had music to put together. And so from there we just kept tightening it and tightening and tightening about which phrases we were going to use and which verses and which chorus. And he would chime in and say, I like that, I don't like that, we should say more of this, and we just kind of worked it together through this thing, which was wild. And then of course at some point I'd come over and we'd play through the whole thing of what we got, and then in real time he'd tell me things that he liked and didn't like and things that we would put in there. It wasn't a big aha moment. It wasn't, this is exactly what we're going to make. It just sort of naturally happened by us spending time together and him talking about, what he cares about. And when he declared that I want this to be a worship song other people can sing, the whole song just kind of started coming together pretty quickly. This has been such a gift for me as a songwriter. I'm inspired by the notion of other songwriters joining in for this project and inviting other musicians to do the exact same thing and find somebody, it could be a stranger or a friend of theirs, that they want to help tell their story through music and add to this project and just keep it going.
I sit, I see the sun casting shadows one by one, by one. Through the colors of the leaves, your love shines in waters deep, so deep. clouds behind the trees, watercolors echoing your voice in me. I hug the shore, I kiss the sea, her waves crashing over me, on me. I feel at home, I feel alive. Close my eyes and recognize the light. Hallelujah, praise the one pouring life out through his Son for everyone. All of creation shouts in one voice. We all sing as one. The fighters and the feelers, the eyes wide open dreamers. We won't give up, we won't give up, we won't give up on love. And when I fly over glory, I'll see those who before me took me higher and higher. And then I'll sing with the freedom, and I'll dance in your kingdom, because I know, oh yes, I know. All of creation shouts in one voice. We all sing as one. Fighters and the feelers, the eyes wide open.